In a world that never stops talking, silence has become rare. Noise is everywhere. Opinions, reactions, arguments, endless commentary. But what if the moments you choose not to speak are just as powerful as the moments you do? How many times have you regretted a sentence said too fast, too sharp, too emotional? Stoicism is an ancient philosophy of self-mastery. It teaches us to govern ourselves with reason, discipline, and inner strength. And part of that mastery is knowing when words help and when words harm. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, left us a simple warning. It is better to trip with your feet than with your tongue, because a stumble on the ground heals quickly. But a careless sentence can follow you for years. Stoic silence is not weakness, it is not fear, it is not avoidance, it is a choice. A deliberate response that protects your peace, your dignity, and your clarity. Silence is not the absence of speech. It is the presence of control. It can calm conflict. It can prevent damage. It can give you time to see clearly. And it can reveal who others are without you saying a single word. So when exactly should you embrace silence? In this episode, we will explore 9 moments where choosing silence is not only wise, but life-changing. From the workplace to the home, from loss to injustice, each situation asks for the same thing. Self-command. As you listen, notice where you struggle. Notice what triggers you. And imagine how your life might change if you stopped feeding every fire with your words. What if a quiet pause could protect your peace, your relationships, and your future? Come with us as we uncover the ancient power of staying silent and let Stoic wisdom guide your next response. If you are ready to practice this in real life, subscribe to Stoic Ocean and leave a comment below. Tell us, which situation tests you the most? Your voice matters here. We are glad you are here. Number 1. When being criticized unfairly. Criticism can sting, but unfair criticism, that tests your character. Most people react quickly. They defend, they explain, they argue. They take it personally, but Stoicism teaches a different response. Not because silence makes you powerless, but because it keeps you in control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If something outside you disturbs you, it is not the thing itself, but your judgment about it. That is the key. The criticism is outside you. Your reaction is inside you. And what you control is the inside. So when someone criticizes you unfairly, your first task is not to fight. It is to pause, to breathe, to separate the criticism from your identity, because criticism is not always truth. Sometimes it is stress, sometimes it is ego, sometimes it is projection, sometimes it is insecurity using your name as an outlet. Imagine this. You are leading a project at work. Your boss criticizes it harshly in front of others. The normal reaction is heat, defensiveness, a sharp reply. But a Stoic response is quieter. You look at the feedback with calm eyes. You ask, is there anything useful here? Any fact to learn from? If yes, take the lesson. If no, release the noise. Pause before you speak. Breathe before you reply. That pause matters. It keeps one bad moment from becoming a bigger conflict. Epictetus taught that philosophy is lived, not performed. Do not talk about your theory. Live it. So instead of rushing to defend your image, you let your character speak. You let your work speak. You let your consistency answer for you. Not every accusation deserves an argument. Sometimes your calm is the strongest proof that you are grounded. Silence in this moment is not passivity. It is discipline. It is the choice to focus on what you can control, your tone, your judgment, your next step. There is another Stoic lesson hidden inside criticism. Even unfair criticism may contain a small truth. Marcus Aurelius said, "If anyone can show me that I am wrong, I will gladly change, because I seek the truth." That is the mindset. Not fragile pride, not constant defense, but commitment to truth. So filter the criticism, separate facts from tone, separate lesson from insult. If there is truth, use it to improve. If there is malice, do not carry it. If there is confusion, do not answer it with emotion. Answer it, if needed, with calm. Here is a simple way to practice this. 1. Pause before reacting. 1 breath is enough to regain control. 2. Separate self-worth from feedback. You are not your review. 3. Look for a sliver of truth. If it helps, take it. 4. Respond calmly or do not respond at all. Sometimes your calm is the best answer. 5. Return to your work. Let improvement be your reply. The world will always have critics, some fair, some unfair. But Stoicism reminds you that your peace is not for sale to the loudest voice. What matters is not what happens to you, but how you respond to it. And when you respond with calm strength, you turn unfair criticism into proof of your character. 1 breath can change everything. Growth over ego, every time. Number 2. Stoic silence in the middle of boasts. Imagine you are at a networking event. A co-worker is bragging, raises, connections, luxury purchases. They speak loudly, as if volume equals value. You feel the urge to compete, to mention your own wins, to prove you belong. But Stoicism teaches the power of restraint. Bragging back rarely impresses anyone. It only drains your energy and pulls you into a game that never ends. If you choose quiet, you keep your cool. You let their words reveal who they are, and you save your energy for conversations that actually matter. Silence here is not insecurity. It is confidence. It says, I do not need to advertise my worth. I do not need outside approval to feel solid inside. Marcus Aurelius gave a simple rule. Do not waste time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. In moments like this, character speaks louder than competition. So instead of performing, you listen. You nod. You smile. You acknowledge politely, without feeding the ego game. And then you return to your own path, your goals, your values, your quiet discipline, because a life marked by inner success does not need constant comparison. Less comparison, more contentment. The more you practice this, the less you feel pulled into contests that never truly matter. And the more you become a person who can be present without needing to be seen. You do not need to compete with words. Your character speaks for itself. Number 3. When dealing with anger. Anger clouds judgment. Silence restores clarity. When anger rises, it can feel like a storm. Fast, hot, loud. It rushes through you and demands action. It tempts you to speak sharply, to punish, to release heat into the world. But Stoicism offers a safer place. A pause. A moment of silence where you regain control. Epictetus advised to keep quiet most of the time and speak only when necessary. Because when you speak in anger, you usually speak from impulse, not wisdom. Now imagine this. A co-worker makes a mistake that costs you hours of extra work. Your first instinct is to lash out, to blame, to unload frustration. But what if you chose silence first? Not forever, just for a moment. 1 breath. 2 breaths. Enough time for the fire to lose power. Marcus Aurelius asked, how much worse are the consequences of anger than the things that caused it? That question matters, because most regrets are not about what happened to you. They are about what you said because it happened. Think about Nelson Mandela. After years of imprisonment, he chose restraint over revenge. Not because injustice was small, but because his spirit was bigger than it. He chose his response. That is the Stoic way. Using silence in anger does not mean you deny feelings. It means you refuse to obey them instantly. You choose a response that matches your best self, not your worst moment. Here is a practical way to use Stoic silence when anger rises. 1. Name the trigger. What exactly happened? 2. Name the emotion. Anger, hurt, embarrassment. 3. Breathe slowly. Let your body calm. 4. Ask, what is in my control? My words, my tone, my action. 5. Choose the next step from clarity, not heat. Sometimes that means speaking calmly. Sometimes that means walking away for a moment. Sometimes it means solving the problem, not attacking the person. Anger is human, but uncontrolled anger damages trust, drains health, and ruins relationships. Stoicism teaches that strength is not loudness. Strength is self-control, and silence, used wisely, can be your sanctuary. A place where wisdom rules the moment instead of impulse. Next time anger rises, try silence first. You may be surprised by what it saves. Learn to separate your feelings from what is happening. Observe without being swept away. Take one step back. See it clearly, not personally. Build strength inside. Exercise. Write. Pray. Meditate. Choose practices that steady your mind. Use anger well. Channel it into action, not reaction. Instead of feeding rage, direct that energy into something useful. Work out, create, repair, improve. Let anger teach you, not rule you. Ask what it revealed. Ask what it touched. Ask what needs more discipline in you. And when you speak, speak clearly, calmly, without poison, without performance. Managing anger well protects your health, your peace, and your relationships. Stoicism does not ask that you never feel anger. It asks that anger never commands you. The next time anger rises, try silence first. You may be surprised by what it saves. Number 4. Silence in the middle of false rumors. Rumors fly like dust. Truth settles like stone. When false stories spread, they bring confusion, stress, and needless harm. Stoicism offers a strong response. Silence. Not as surrender, but as discipline. Think of a teacher in a small town, wrongly accused of misconduct. As whispers spread, she chose carefully. She did not rush to explain, beg, or fight every accusation. She did not add heat to a fire already burning. Instead, she stood on integrity. She kept living with honesty, calm, and consistency. That silence was not weakness. It was courage. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Understand this, and you will find strength." Rumors are outside events. You cannot control how quickly they spread, but you can control how you answer them, and often a rushed defense only feeds the story. It gives the rumor fresh attention, fresh in energy, fresh life. By refusing to react immediately, the teacher allowed the first wave to pass. Time did its work. No proof appeared. The noise weakened, and the truth became her defense. Silence let truth surface. Words would have muddied the water. That is the Stoic lesson. Focus on what is yours, your conduct, your response, your character. Not every whisper deserves your voice. Epictetus taught that you do not need to chase every insult. You do not need to fight every rumor. You need to protect your peace, your actions, and your integrity. So when false accusations rise, pause before speaking. Ask yourself, will my words clarify or only escalate? If silence serves the truth, choose silence. Keep your conduct clean. Keep your mind steady. Patience looks like confidence. And remember, the strongest defense is often a life lived so clearly that truth speaks before you do. So when rumors rise at work, at home, or in public life, let Stoic silence steady you, not to hide, not to surrender, but to stay rooted in truth, character, and self-command. Number 5. How to deal with loss. Loss is universal, so is the silence that follows it. A room feels different, a morning feels heavier. The world keeps moving, but something in you stands still. Loss leaves a space inside you. A space filled with sadness, confusion, longing, and questions with no quick answer. Stoicism does not ask you to deny that pain. It asks something harder, to feel it fully without letting it destroy your center. C.S. Lewis, writing after his wife's death, said, "The pain I feel now is the happiness I had before." That line matters. It tells the truth. If you loved deeply, you will grieve deeply. Love and loss walk together. There is nothing weak about that. The Stoics understood that life moves in a larger order. Things arrive, things leave. Love enters, loss follows. Not because life is cruel, but because everything we are given is temporary. Seneca offers a difficult wisdom. The day we fear will be our last is the birthday of eternity. In other words, when you remember that life is fragile, you begin to see more clearly. You cling less. You waste less. You love more honestly. So what changes when you stop seeing loss only as an ending and begin to see it as a painful transition within life itself? After his wife died, Lewis did not rush to fill the silence with distraction. He sat with it. He wrote through it. He let grief speak. That kind of silence is not emptiness. It is honesty. Silence after loss is not denial. It is space. Space to breathe. Space to remember. Space to feel what is true without forcing yourself to heal on command. Because grief rushed too quickly often returns in other forms. Bitterness, numbness, restlessness, quiet despair. Stoic silence gives pain room to move without letting it become your identity. Here is a steadier path through loss. 1. Allow the feeling. Do not shame your grief. Do not rush it. Let the tears come. Let the sadness speak. Write it down. Say it aloud to someone safe. Grief needs witness, not suppression. 2. Return to what you can still guide. You cannot undo what happened, but you can choose how you carry it. Your breathing, your habits, your next good action, your way of honoring what was lost. 3. Look for meaning in what remains. Ask yourself, what did this love give me? What did this person, this season, or this opportunity leave inside me that is still alive? Gratitude does not erase grief. It keeps grief from becoming empty. Start small, one thing each day. 4. Do not suffer alone. Stoicism is not isolation. It is strength with perspective, support, and community. Talk to family, talk to friends, seek wise company. You do not have to carry loss by yourself. Loss will always hurt. But it does not have to hollow you out. You can grieve with dignity. You can remember without collapsing. You can honor what mattered without living forever inside what is gone. And over time, silence itself changes. At first, it feels unbearable. Later, it becomes sacred. A place where love, memory, pain, and clarity can finally sit together. If these lessons are speaking to you, share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you have not yet, subscribe to Stoic Ocean so we can keep walking this path together. We grow stronger together. Your story matters. Share it when you are ready. Number 6. Navigating ignorance with Stoic grace. Some people will never understand, and that is okay. Have you ever met someone who speaks with complete certainty but very little understanding? They are loud, dismissive, unmoved by facts, and strangely confident in what they do not know. It is frustrating, but it is also a clear moment to practice Stoic grace. Because not every argument deserves your energy, and not every mind is ready for truth. Galileo understood this. He defended heliocentrism in a world deeply attached to old beliefs. He faced mockery, opposition, and even house arrest. Yet he did not let ignorance pull him into bitterness or panic. He kept his integrity. He stayed devoted to truth. History proved him right. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Other people's ignorance is an outside event. Their certainty is an outside event. You may not be able to make them wiser, but you can refuse to let them make you reactive, angry, or small. Galileo's silence was not weakness. It was integrity. He understood that truth does not weaken because ignorance is louder. And he understood that some battles are won not by noise but by endurance. That is what Stoic grace looks like. You do not need to humiliate someone to remain honest. You do not need to win every exchange to remain right. You need to keep your dignity, your patience, and your long view. Being gracious means knowing the limits of your power. It means choosing carefully where your voice helps and where silence protects you better. Not every battle is worth your energy. Some ignorance is best met with restraint. Sometimes wisdom argues. Sometimes wisdom waits. Sometimes wisdom says nothing and keeps walking with integrity. Let Galileo remind you, truth does not always need your volume. Sometimes it needs your patience. Number 7. How to deal with rumors. Rumors fade. Character remains. At some point you will become the subject of a story you did not write. A whisper starts. Someone repeats it. Details change. Motives get invented. And suddenly, people are reacting to a version of you that is not even real. The instinct is immediate. Explain, defend, correct every detail. Chase every voice. But rumors grow on reaction. The more frantic you become, the more alive the story feels. Think of a community leader working to protect the environment. Her work threatens the wrong interests, and false rumors begin. People whisper that she is doing it for personal gain. Instead of chasing every accusation, she stays focused. She keeps serving. She keeps showing up. Actions outlast gossip. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like the one who harmed you. Do not become desperate because others are dishonest. Do not become loud because others are loud. Let your conduct stay cleaner than the rumor itself." Epictetus gives a sharp rule. If what they say is true, correct yourself. If it is false, laugh at it, not always out loud, but inwardly with perspective, because your peace is too expensive to spend on gossip. Here is a Stoic way to handle rumors well. 1. Do not react publicly first. Silence buys clarity. 2. Verify facts quietly. Ask trusted people. Look for evidence. Understand what is real before deciding what to do. 3. Decide whether a response is even necessary. Some rumors die when you do not feed them. If a response is needed, keep it brief, factual, and calm. 4. Let consistent behavior do the deeper work. A steady life outlasts a noisy story. 5. Release what is not yours to control. You cannot manage every mind. You can only manage your character. Rumors can hurt, but they do not have to own you. The stronger your character, the less power a false story has to shape your life. And the more you practice Stoic silence here, the more you stop living as a hostage to public opinion. Think things through before you act. How you respond to a rumor can shape what happens next. A rushed reaction can feed a fire you never meant to grow. It can spread confusion. It can give new life to a weak story. So respond carefully, with intention, with a plan. Sometimes the best answer is silence. Sometimes it is a short, calm clarification, but in either case, do not let panic choose for you. Silence is always an option, and often the wisest one. Pay attention to your conduct. The strongest answer to a false rumor is a life lived consistently. Honesty over time wears down gossip. Character outlasts noise. The more your actions match your values, the less likely false stories are to stick. Consistency is your best defense against rumor. People remember what you do, not only what they hear, and practice not giving away too much power to public opinion. Stoicism teaches that some things are outside your control. Other people's thoughts, judgments, and whispers belong there. Your task is not to manage every mind. It is to manage your own. Your character is your reputation. Trust yourself, trust your principles, and remember this: your life is the best response to rumor. Number 8. When confronted with injustice. Injustice tests the soul. Silence can be part of your answer. Stoic philosophy teaches that unfairness must be met with inner strength, not inner collapse. Epictetus said bear and forbear, 2 words. A lifetime of wisdom. Endure what you must, and refuse to become cruel in return. Few lives show this more clearly than Nelson Mandela's. Years in prison, humiliation, separation. A system designed to break him. He had every reason to become bitter, every reason to seek revenge. But he chose something higher. He chose restraint. He chose healing. He chose unity. That choice defined his legacy. Revenge may have felt powerful for a moment, but peace gave him lasting power. That is the Stoic lesson. Your greatest power does not lie in controlling events. It lies in choosing your response. They may wound you. They may insult you. They may imprison you, but they do not have to possess your mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best way to get back at someone who has harmed you is not to become like them." That is the heart of Stoic silence in the face of injustice. Silence is not surrender. It is not weakness. It is not passive acceptance. It is the pause that keeps you clear enough to act well. It is the refusal to let pain become poison, because retaliation usually feels strong for a moment, but multiplies damage over time. Stoic silence says, do not let someone else's wrongdoing rewrite your character. So what do you do when life is unfair? Here is a steadier path. 1. Calm your body first. Breathe, slow down. Regain control of your nervous system. A flooded mind cannot choose wisely. 2. Separate what is in your control from what is not. Your tone, your next action, your principles, your choices, these are yours. 3. Refuse revenge. Do not answer injury with chaos. Do not let retaliation become your strategy. 4. Act from values. If you must speak, speak clearly. If you must act, act with purpose. Let integrity lead, not rage. 5. Turn pain into principled action. Seek solutions. Protect others. Advocate for change. Let injustice deepen your courage, not your cruelty. Mandela's silence was not the end of action. It was the foundation for right action. He did not waste his suffering by turning it into revenge. He transformed it into leadership. So when life treats you unfairly, remember this. You do not become stronger by becoming harder. You become stronger by staying clear, staying disciplined, and refusing to let injustice turn you into what you hate. Sometimes the most powerful response is born in silence, not because you give up, but because you are preparing to act with wisdom. When injustice finds you, stay calm. Think clearly. Hold your values. Refuse revenge. Look for what helps, not what escalates, and let the experience teach you without making you hard. Number 9. How to handle insults with Stoic wisdom. Insults reveal the insulter. Silence reveals you. Epictetus once said, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind has agreed to the provocation. That is a powerful warning. Because an insult is not just a sentence, It is an invitation to lose control, to react too fast, to hand your peace to someone who has not earned it. Most insults are not about truth. They are about power. Someone wants a reaction. They want your anger. They want to pull you down to their level. And when you react instantly, you give them exactly what they wanted. This is why Stoic silence matters. Silence is not weakness. It is discipline. It is restraint. It is the decision to keep your dignity when someone tries to take it from you. Mahatma Gandhi understood this deeply. He faced insults, pressure, ridicule, and resistance throughout his struggle for Indian freedom. But he refused to answer contempt with contempt. He practiced ahimsa, non-violence, not as passivity, but as strength. His calmness often disarmed opponents more than any argument. Because when someone attacks you, they expect noise, they expect anger, they expect you to mirror them. And when you do not, the whole dynamic changes. You remain in control. They do not. That is the hidden strength of silence. You do not need to win every exchange. Sometimes the real victory is walking away with your peace intact. So what do you do when someone insults you? Here is a Stoic way to handle it. 1. Pause. Even one breath creates distance between their words and your reaction. 2. Ask yourself, will responding help, or will it only feed the moment? 3. If you speak, speak briefly, calmly, cleanly, without venom. And if nothing useful needs to be said, let silence answer for you. Because silence can say, I hear you, but you do not control me. Marcus Aurelius asked, how much worse are the consequences of anger and grief than the things that caused them? That is the truth. The insult may last a few seconds, but the regret from your reaction can last much longer. So choose wisely. Every time you stay calm when insulted, you strengthen something inside yourself. Self-control, humility, discipline. And over time, people learn something too. They learn that you are not easily shaken, not because you are cold, but because you are grounded. We have now walked through 9 moments where silence can serve you, from criticism to boasts, from anger to rumors, from loss to injustice. The lesson is the same. Silence is not emptiness. It is self-command. Marcus Aurelius said, do not waste time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. So bring this practice into daily life. Speak when it helps. Stay quiet when it does not. Let your character do the talking. Pick one situation from this video. Practice it this week. Start there, then build from there. If this video helped you, hit the like button, share it with someone who needs calm right now, and leave a comment below. Which of these 9 situations tests you the most? And if you want more from Stoic Ocean, subscribe and stay with us. Until next time, take care, stay disciplined, and stay unbothered.